Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about my reaction to the first three episodes of the Wheel of Time show, and straight off the bat, it's a solid 8 for me, and I'm going to explain why I think it's a solid 8. Because while it did start off rocky and on the rocks on the first episode, which I feel like that kind of happens with a lot of shows because that is the pilot, and people are just getting to know each other, and they're trying to feel the vibe of the show, and everyone's just trying to get comfortable and figure out what they want to do here. So the first episode I thought was good. Could have been a bit better. There was a lot of stuff cut out from the first episode, from that first part of the book, which was always going to happen, and because they can't fit everything in, and these books are long and they get longer as they go along. First book is near 800 pages long, so yeah, they have so much they're trying to fit in just to this first season with 8 episodes. So in the first episode I really liked Matt, I really liked Maureen, and I liked the actors who are portraying those. I'm actually a bit disappointed that the actor playing Matt isn't going to be back for season 2. They're replacing him. I'm actually, after 3 episodes, I'm really liking that actor playing that character, and with 5 more episodes, I think I'll even be happier by the end of this. And then he's gone, so I suppose it's just something I have to deal with and move on. But I really liked how the first episode portrayed his character, showing how his parents were shitty. Obviously, sorry, I need to say this is all spoilers. So if you haven't watched the first 3 episodes, go away and watch them and then come back. Probably should have said that at the start of the video and not 2 minutes in, but yeah, he has shitty parents, but he loves his sisters, which we do kind of get that after a couple of books into the series, but not straight away. Straight away, it's kind of just, oh, this is this character and this is the character playing this trope. The bad best, the I can't say the word, the naughty best friend, the one who plays the tricks and is always trying to make everyone laugh. But actually, it turns out, he cares about his 2 sisters, and he does care about the 2 rivers. And he does miss his family, they are dicks and stuff. But yeah, he was really good. Maureen was really good. I really love the set and everything for the 2 rivers, and it felt like a real place. And it was like the mountains. I think they shot most of this over in Prague, in the Czech Republic, and it's a beautiful place. Actually, I really would like to visit it now after seeing some of the scenes up in the mountains and all. So I enjoyed the first episode. I felt like the pace was a bit, fast and slow, and then chopping and cutting between things, but that's what we're going to have to do to try and get through that first episode and set everything up. And then on to the second episode, we get Shadar Loaf, I'm sure my pronunciation isn't great, but we get it, and we get the group going off with Maureen and Lan, and we start to we get really into the dynamics between our main cast, Matt, Perrin, Egwene and Rand. They've eased the characters up a bit. They're all 20 or plus, and Egwene and Rand have a relationship. They are together at the start of the show, whereas compared to the books, it was kind of hinted at, but not really. Like they were meant. They always kept saying, oh, they were going to be married eventually because they were paired and all. Like that was just the way they talked about those things when Robert Jordan was writing these books. Whereas now it's obviously more obvious that they were obviously going to be together at the age of 20, and that was good. And then obviously they kind of split apart and their dynamic's really interesting because they still do both care about each other, but they don't want it. They both are going to be going on different paths, and by the end of the second episode, that actually physically does happen. They all split up and go on their different paths from each other, for that period now. So, yeah, I thought the second episode built on what the first episode did, a bit better. The actors and the characters are combining more, and it's becoming a bit more believable, and more things are getting introduced. The White Cloaks get introduced. Wasn't it in the second? No, the White Cloaks. I can't remember now if the White Cloaks are episode 2 or 3. Oh, sugar. I've only watched the first 3 episodes once. I probably will rewatch the series once it all comes out. Cut that out maybe. No, they don't meet the White Cloaks. Oh, they do meet the White Cloaks in the second episode, and the Questioners, and I really liked their introduction. I thought it was a great introduction. And you could kind of get the fear off them and their righteousness off them of what they think they're doing is obviously right. And the Questioner who brutally destroyed the Yellow Aja, and that was brutal, and really showing how this show isn't for children, it's more for teenagers and adults, and there is a bit of gore and stuff. So I thought that was all really good, and obviously they changed things that happened in Shadar Luke. I'm not pronouncing that right, I don't think. They changed a few things about it. Maureen was basically not even there. She was just so sick she couldn't speak or anything, so she wasn't talking. And Matt, Perrin and Rand don't go off together. It's actually Matt just goes off by himself and gets the dagger, and that's kind of it. He just finds it. A dark shadow does like bring him to it, but they don't. Rand and Matt don't go. Matt, Perrin and Rand don't go into the deep dungeons of one of the big palaces, I think it was, originally in the first book, and they meet the character who represents the city and the darkness within the city. So they cut that out, but that's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, he still got the dagger, and it's still starting to have an effect on him now, which we do start to see in episode 3, which isn't too bad, and he has it, and whatever. Obviously, you can't put everything in, and then the darkness then starts to absorb the city. I thought that was great, and obviously it wasn't great what happened to the horse, obviously, but I thought that was really portrayed well, like with the horse turning to dust. That is what literally would happen to them if they caught. So there was real fear in the characters to get away, but I loved how the darkness didn't just consume everything. It went its separate ways after the characters. Like, it's its own character itself. Within the show, the city was a character itself. So I found that all really interesting and really good, and the quality was really good, and the big walls and all, I thought that was really done well. So yeah, that wasn't too bad, and I really enjoyed. I thought the second episode was better than the first, and by the end, then everyone's split off, and they're going on their own separate journeys now, I'd say, for the next 2 to 3 episodes, maybe. We've got episode 4. Maybe they'll all be back together by episode 5 or the end of episode 5. I could be completely wrong. I'm trying, like, because obviously they're speeding things up a bit. So we'll have to see. But I loved I thought it was slightly cringy, but I loved the last. I did love the last scene of episode 2, Nynaeve coming in with the dagger. And her line of, "You're gonna tell me where your friends are, and I'm gonna slice your throat," like that. Well, it was slightly cringy, but it was still good because it was showing like that Nynaeve cares about her friends, and she has the wisdom in her heart, and she is willing to go anywhere to get them back. So I thought that was good, and a good introduction. And then obviously we go into episode 3 and we get our first, talks between Nynaeve and Lan, which is great, and they're dynamic, and be interesting to see where that goes now and how much time they give to them, that pair. But Yeah, that was good. And then into episode 3, and Rand and Matt get a lot of screen time in this episode together. They go to the mountain mining town, and they go into the inn, and they meet um Tom Merlin, one of my favorite characters in the story, and the actor who's playing him is great, and I think he's going to be great. Obviously, we're going to get a bit more screen time of him throughout the season. Maybe just the next episode, I think. Yeah, it'll just be the next episode he'll be in then, or maybe the next two, and then obviously if you've read the books, you know what happens with him. So, um, the actor's great for him, and I really enjoyed then that what happened in that episode with Tom and Matt getting screen time together and talking, about the world and what's right and what's wrong. And we all have bad moments, and we all have to deal with that the way we can to survive. So I really enjoyed that. I thought that was great. And I thought it was quite convincing between Rand and Matt and the two actors' dynamic. Rand's kind of, these guys have known each other all their lives, and Rand kind of doesn't understand what's wrong with Matt and why he's dying to go home, but then he's being a nasty git, and not helping, because I think even back in the Two Rivers, Matt would have helped a little. Like, he wouldn't have just left. He wouldn't have just left Rand to the side, like, and not help with cutting any of the wood, as if you've seen the episode, cutting any of the wood. So, he was kind of like, what's going on here? So, and then obviously we have the dark friend. We find out that the owner of the inn is a dark friend, and she starts basically telling us that anyone could be a dark friend, anyone could be an enemy, and that's all really interesting, because there's not many shows to do that. Where literally, you could walk into a flower shop, and the person who owns the flower shop can be a dark friend. So basically, anyone they meet can be an enemy, and that just shows how much trust they're gonna need and stuff. So. I'll leave it there, because this video is starting to run on a bit, and this is more just a rant of what I thought about the first 3 episodes. But if you've got this far and I've left anything out, which I know I have, I might make another video about things I didn't like. But yeah, I'm really happy with the start, and obviously there's 2 more seasons have been ordered. I don't really feel like they've pumped that news out too much, but there's a season 2 and a season 3 ordered, and they're starting season 2 filming at the end of this year, or maybe it's next month or something. I remember from watching the premiere that's what's going to be happening. So they can only improve really on what they've done, I think. If they don't go any worse than what they've already put out in these first 3 episodes for the next 3 seasons, I'd be really happy with this adaptation. Obviously there'll be things we don't like, but that's, it's the directors and the writers' vision from using the source material. It's not a carbon copy. So if you've got this far, thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here, and I'll talk to you all again soon.